2024 has come to an end. How was the year for you? Did you feel like it flew by? For me, it didn't. It did not feel like weeks or months. It felt like a year. In 2024, I continued publishing on the Daily Satvik blog. I started this YouTube channel and I interacted with some very interesting minds. My growth in none of them was exponential, but in my learning, it definitely was. And I want to share 7 of my top learnings from 2024 with you in this video. So let's get started. Lesson number 1, plans make you work better. They say no plan survives contact with the enemy. While that may be true, what's even worse is to have no plan at all. Because what could take hours or minutes with a plan could end up taking weeks, months, or years without one. When I started my YouTube channel, then I was editing my own videos. And I would add text or B-roll footage wherever I thought was right. Bad idea. Because my editing was all over the place and it would end up taking days. I thought I was being spontaneous, but what the problem really was a lack of focus. And it's very easy to confuse the two of them as the same thing. See, your mind always wants to chase the next shiny object. And if it continues doing that, you will end up drained, disappointed, and exhausted with your work. What you want to feel is fulfilled, energized, right? That demands making a plan, executing it well, learning from the results, and applying those learnings to your future plan. That is progress, even if the results are not what you expected. And that kind of progress is incredibly motivating. So I learned my lessons after my first few videos and decided that instead of jumping into editing, I would make notes about what I wanted to edit and stick to those plans. Any new idea that I had while working could get applied in the next video. This aspect taught me another important lesson. While plans can structure your creative work, expectations can constrain your potential. Which brings me to lesson number 2. Disappointment is a byproduct of expectation. For a lot of years, I would reach out to people asking for some or the other kind of help. They would all say, yes, I'll help you, but no one obliged. And I would feel disappointed, angry, hurt even, until Swami Vivekanand reminded me that all my achievements, whatever I'm proud of, has come because of my own effort. And whatever I regret not doing is because I was waiting for some or the other form of intervention, either human, divine, whatever. And if you think about your life, you will notice a similar pattern too. So I got to work. I learned, I enhanced my capabilities, I improved, I kept helping people along the way, and I found help from the most unexpected of places. One of which is you people who watched these videos and left very encouraging comments and liked and subscribed and shared. And for that, I'm really grateful. The point is, when you expect, you assume you know what's good for you. But when you're open-minded, then you're letting the cosmos tell you what's good for you. When you expect, you will end up disappointed. But when you're open-minded, you could end up amazed because you don't know what you would get. So do the work. Do not wait for help to come. When you are worthy, it will automatically come your way. And if something is not working out or you're facing obstacles, don't give up. Keep that fire alive. Overcoming obstacles makes the victory that much sweeter, right? I also learned that when I stopped expecting from people, I could pour all my energy into creating the kind of art that truly matters. Which brings me to lesson number 3. Let your art drench hearts. Daily Satvik has nowhere near the kind of traction that I hoped it would have. Again, expectations lead to disappointment. And I will admit that there have been times when I was tempted to break away from my theme, to cash in on trends, to make reaction videos, or make kinds of thumbnails and gain an audience. But then there is a difference between being well known, which comes when you have a lot of subscribers, and being worth knowing. And I want to make Daily Satvik the latter. I want to drench 1,000 people in a downpour of art that soaks through their skin, through their blood, through their bones, right to their heart. Not just wet the heads of say 100,000 or 500,000 people with some drizzle and they'll forget it tomorrow. Such kind of art demands depth over breadth, which in turn means that you have to forget about timelines and deadlines. You're not working for decades, you're not working in a lifetime, you're working in God's timeline. In a fantastic essay on the death of hobbies, Sherry Ning wrote, "The men who sketched the first blueprint and laid the first brick knew they would not live to see the completion of the building. And when they died, their children picked up where they left off, knowing that they themselves would also not be the last. Yet they built anyway. The artists that we deem classic today created from the starting belief that what they're doing is beyond worldly measure and rewards. This is how I want to live, where each creation is a step in an endless journey, not a final destination to be judged. And that brings me to lesson number 4. There is no scorecard, only the next play. People will publish videos and articles and wait for views, for comments. If they flow in, great. If not, those people end up shrouded in doubt. Did I do something wrong? Did I choose the wrong topic? Maybe I should just stop creating content or doing whatever I'm doing. Fortunately, I did not have that problem when I started my YouTube channel because I had heard popular YouTubers saying that nascent content creators do not get any views on their videos. So I decided that the first 2 years I would work in complete silence. As soon as an article or a video was published, I would start working on the next one. Getting close to 100,000 views in 9 months is definitely a bonus, for which I am deeply grateful. But that does not change my philosophy of focusing on the next video, the next article, the next guest post as soon as the current one is done. So look at metrics, but don't let them motivate or demotivate you. And here's the thing. As soon as you stop fussing over results, you will feel incredibly liberated. You will have the courage to stick to your path. You will have the energy to work longer. You will be able to find your voice and you will have fun while working. You will enjoy working. Speaking of which, we come to lesson number 5. Follow your curiosity. I have written certain SEO-centric articles on Daily Satvik, hoping that those articles will appear for those specific keywords on the front page of Google. While I have used tools to research those keywords, my writing or my research has not been random, just interspersing those keywords for the sake of it. When it came to the writing, I went down the rabbit hole of topics that actually interested me. I deep dived into research and I compared it with my own experience also. In other words, rather than creating content for views or algorithms, I wanted to create content because something sparked a curiosity in me. You know what happened as a result? I had fun writing. Each day, I would go to bed smarter and happier than I was when I woke up. And I developed ideas that I loved sharing with the world. These ideas are the ones that I am applying in my own life to become a better version of myself. That a couple of articles have appeared on the front page of Google and a couple of videos have done well is an added bonus. If you work purely for an external reward, what happens if things don't work out as you hoped? You don't have the reward and you are stuck with a piece of work that you don't like. But if you follow your curiosity, if you enjoy the process, even if you don't get the reward, at least you have the work. You can feel proud of it, you can improve on it, and you can use it to enhance your capabilities. But of course, mere curiosity is not enough. Refinement is equally important. And that comes from taking feedback, which is lesson number 6. Daily Satvik originally started as a book idea. But when I was researching how to publish a book, I found that most book publishers highly value the social follower count of an author. And my follower count is really tiny. So what did I do? Well, I took a leaf out of Mason Curie's practice. For almost 2 years before publishing the book Daily Rituals, Mason Curie would write each weekday online about the rituals and habits of great minds from the past. I thought I could do the same, and that was what led to the Daily Satvik blog. When traffic was not going anywhere on the blog, I reached out to a friend and said, hey, help me out with some SEO. He said SEO results would take time because my theme was different and because I used to write short content. Sometimes I still do. Meanwhile, he suggested why not try YouTube? Because your audience loves to watch more and listen more than read, and they are on YouTube. So why not give it a shot? As a result, this YouTube channel was born. Then I connected a few months later with an editor who has worked with a renowned publishing house. She suggested, hey, why not add your own photo to your video thumbnails as well? Initially, I resisted because I thought this channel is all about Indic sages and philosophers. But what she said made sense. She said that while the wisdom and the quotes are theirs, how to make it relevant to today's time comes from me. So people should be familiar with me as well. Alongside, I also reached out to other video editors before I found the one that I'm currently working with. His work doesn't just save me a lot of time, which I can use to research better and hopefully create better content, but his editing skills are also much better than mine. And you can see that from the recent videos, right? So good content along with a well-edited video, a combination of those is good for you, the viewer, right? Getting feedback has helped me iterate, pivot, and keep moving rather than stagnate, get frustrated, and eventually give up. But the thing about feedback is that it's not relegated only to technique, it also invites personal transformation. And while collecting other people's insight, the biggest feedback I have collected, or the most critical one, is to trust my own voice and my unique perspectives. Which brings us to the seventh and final lesson, which is give your voice a voice. Once I started adding my photo to video thumbnails for YouTube, I thought, what if I started sharing my own learnings as well? What if I explored outside the theme of explaining the quotes of Swami Vivekananda and Krishnamurti and Sri Aurobindo and others? See, if I stuck to Indic sages and philosophers, eventually I would just start regurgitating their words. I would try to become a cheap version of them, and no one cares about that. I would probably end up making videos like 7 blunders Indic sages warned you against. And for all you know, I could make that video in the future. The thing is that this would become limiting, boring, and monotonous. But if I shared my personal learnings, maybe it would not, so long as I kept learning. On a side note, my videos and articles of personal learnings have done better than expected, which I will take as a sign of continuing down the path. So here's my takeaway: learn from people, but don't limit it to theory. Because it doesn't matter how much theory you know, what matters is how much you can apply. As Adi Shankaracharya said, it's knowledge combined with action that leads to wisdom. And it's this wisdom that's your essence, and that's what adds value to the world. In the coming year, I want to continue building momentum, not merely chase milestones. I have roadmaps for my YouTube channels. Yes, I want to start a Hindi one as well, for my newsletter, for my blogs, for my future courses, but none of them are carved in stone. None of them are rigid. They are all living documents that will evolve along with my curiosity and my learning. Here's hoping to deeper ideas, more meaningful conversations, and a genuine transformation in 2025. Who knows, the lessons I learn along the way could become another video at the end of the year. What have your biggest lessons for 2024 been? Leave them in the comments because I would love to hear from you. And until next time, namaste.